Hello and welcome. This is Lisa Jones, and you are listening to the Exploring Death podcast. Hello, it's Lisa Jones, your host with Exploring Death podcast, and today I have with me Mary Hill. Mary was spiritual as a teenager and fascinated with the concept of death and dying. She read many books on the subject, but still had fear about her own death. She shares her unique and spiritual experiences as a registered nurse and hospice case manager. A close relationship with some patients showed her the divine grace that accompanied the dying process as she assisted them to transition to the afterlife. Several of her patients kept their promise to appear to her after they passed. This was evidence that life or consciousness continued after the physical body was dropped. She has authored the book Messages from the Afterlife, and is a highly intuitive spiritual healer as a Reiki master, shamanic practitioner, and certified Kundalini yoga teacher. Welcome, Mary.
Oh, welcome. Thank you for having me on.
I'm so happy to have you. And I love that you are versed in the hospice world. That's a new world that I've recently entered as a volunteer, and find so much joy and fulfillment from working with patients that are in their dying process. And I know a lot of people find that really odd and strange and freaky, but as you know, it's such a wonderful place to find grace and really make life, to me, much more fulfilling when you're really witnessing the end of a life. You know, so the first card, which is the blockage card, is flow. And so people are out of the flow. They don't want what's happening to happen. You know, they don't want their loved one to die. They're trying to hold on to what was. And so they push against the tide and try to keep things status quo and
Yeah.
and not bring in that, you know, because again, like you said, I mean, you got to be diagnosed basically 6 months that the person's going to die within that time. And who wants to admit that, you know? The family doesn't, and most people that are dying don't want to say, yeah, okay, I'm ready to sign up for the 6-month program. So the action card is healing. And what's coming to mind there is that when you do call hospice in, it really is a time of healing for, it might not be the physical perfection of healing where the person, you know, miraculously, you know, heals and walks out and they don't have their disease anymore. But it's a time of healing where the family is held and the patient is held in a team of people that are caring for them and love them and can nurture them, which makes the whole death process such a healing experience, as opposed to one of real trauma or disconnect, or, you know, just somebody just in a hospital bed and you know, without that care and concern around them. And then the outcome card is essence, which allows each person that's going, and it brings me to tears, to have the dignity of being surrounded by a caring team and their loved ones, and allow them to have that beautiful death. And, you know, I just can't express how beautiful hospice is and what a supportive environment it creates for the dying person and their family. And so if anyone listening to this has somebody in their life that is in that situation, I highly recommend you call hospice in as early as possible, because it's help. It's helping. It's not hurting. And it helps everybody in the family, not just the person that's on their deathbed. So
Yes, absolutely. In fact, it seemed like sometimes we help the families more than we even help the patient, because there's so many emotional aspects to it, and just you know, the grieving that goes along with it. And yeah, it's a great program. I was honored to be part of it.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Well, I do have a website, and it's called hospicememories.com. And then on there, there's a way ordering the book, but then it's also available through Balboa Press. It was self-published through them, and also through Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And Yeah, I really want this book to help others, and I want to be of service to others. So if there's any way that I can answer questions for people, I would love to be of service that way, because I think people just need to get some honest information and sometimes just somebody to talk to. It's been there.
Right. Well, that's beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate your
Thank you.
time
It
and
was an
everything
honor.
you shared. And thank you for listening today, and be sure to stay tuned because I'm going to be pulling some cards for you up next.